So, coming back to Summoner's Glory, and you're not sure where you left off? Maybe you're making a new character on Server 5 and you're not sure how to get started. Well, I got you covered. Alright, so the first thing you want to do if you're making a brand new character, once you pick what your character looks like, between the few options they've got here, put your name right over here. And then at the bottom left of the screen where it says promo code, you want to enter JTOWN7, all caps, JTOWN7. And that's going to give you just a small starter pack, a decent SS Phantom to get you rolling in the game. Then you click create, away we go. Alright, so after you make your character and you log in, it's going to have you go through the tutorial. It's pretty much going to just point you step by step. Click here, do that. You're going to go through the little story about how the goddess of the initial fire came into the world, kick the crap out of some dudes, and then sacrifice yourself so you can start the game. So, once you get past all this, we'll reconvene. Alright, so once you're in the game, now's where the fun starts, right? You start out with Merlin, he shows you about summoning. You get put on some storyline quests, which the storyline quests are worth substantial amounts of XP. Anytime you complete story quests, go ahead and do so. They're going to give you massive chunks of progress. So you do a few of those, get a couple levels under your belt, right? Equip the gear that's going to start dropping from those. Once you've got your set of gear on, you've got a couple of phantoms, you've gone up a couple levels, then we'll work on the next steps. Alright, so I haven't even been playing this account for 5 minutes and I'm already level 10. I've equipped nothing other than what they forced me to, any of the little pop-ups on the right side of the screen indicating that you got a new piece of equipment. So I just went through those, clicked, skipped, do everything I possibly could. In less than 5 minutes, I'm level 10. Now what? All these little red dots are indicating things you have to collect. Your online rewards, those every 5 minutes you're online playing. Once you select this, the next 5 minutes will start, and so on and so forth. Get those rewards every day. Keys are huge, as well as the diamonds. In your bonuses, you got some login bonuses that happen. Right, you got the growth gifts every certain levels. Nice vigor, essence, and gold here. Your daily sharing once a day, you can claim this. You don't actually have to share the advertisement. You can just like say you're going to and then cancel out. You get 2 vigor pots. Remember to do that at every reset. Vigor is your lifeblood. Every day you check in, you're going to get rewards. Right? So just do your little red dots. They really tell you what you need to be doing. You're going to get certain little free gifts every day and every week. Your summoning, since you have new books to summon, right? And your novice activity. These are just nice milestones for newer accounts where you can get epic books, diamonds, some silver and gold books. It's really nice. And then a new feature that's come out since the update, the rebranding of the game, is idle. For every hour that you're idle, you'll get these rewards. Obviously, I've only been playing for a few minutes, so it's not accumulated yet. But the rewards you get as you're idle, as you progress through the game and get higher in level and get through the abode, these become more substantial. So especially in the early parts of the game, every time you can collect resources from that, collect it while you're playing. And then when you're offline, it'll rack up. You'll come back online to a bigger chunk. Some nice rewards. Alright, so now in our mail, we've got our welcome, right? Just from the game, just for creating a new character, they give you a welcome package. And then the promo code reward from using JTOWN7, you get Destroyer Vizier and these nice resources. So we're going to grab all of that. Now, in our formation down here, that's where you organize your team of 4. I have 2 SS copies. One of them I got from a quest, one from my package, but one's a level 10, so we're going to add him right in there. Notice these other 2 are S's. They're okay, but SS is the top quality. You always want to try to use SS's at all costs. Now, I could put him in here, but he's the exact same tier and phantom as this one, so that won't work outside of the elemental towers, which is another special form of tower. There's no restrictions on those, but we'll get to that later. So I've equipped the phantoms I can use. In your career, you're going to get more of those little red dots. Red dots means you have free stuff. Okay, so now, how do I level these phantoms up? Well, I'm going to focus on my SS first, because I know these 2 are not going to stick around for me. Under evolution, you're going to see upgrade right here. Upgrade uses this new form of currency, right, since the update. And that is how you will level them up. You'll collect this from doing different story quests, from running different dungeons, from running the abode. You're going to collect that, and that's how you level them up. There's no more feeding phantoms into other phantoms for XP. They also don't get XP by grinding in the world. So if you're out there AFK farming, you're not really getting anything from it. All right, other than that, everything else is the same. We haven't gotten to the story part to evolve yet. We just leveled him up. He's going to hit pretty decently. We don't have any runes yet. Okay, how do we start exponentializing our progress? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is in your activities, Elemental Lord and your Demon Fortress and your Phantom Abode. Those three things you're going to want to do. You'll only be able to do the first couple levels, but you want to do those, unlock those, get those rewards, and then set battle assistant runs for those for a short amount of time. Now, this is key. Say I'm going to be playing for 2 hours. I want to set small increments of time in the battle assistant. Say I want to set up 6 runs for 30 minutes, right? That way I can go through the story and progress. When that pops up, then I'll grab that, right? And I'll have that amount of resources. I don't want to set like 4 to 5 hours because that's not going to benefit me until later on. Whereas if I did it now, it would have progressed me to where I could have completed more content at a higher level right now while I'm playing. So only set those really long battle assistant runs when you're about to log off and actually not be on the game. All right, so just a small tip as you're going through some of those early on story fights and throughout the rest of the game, you want to make sure these symbols on the top right are set to the computer and the multiplier button is set to 2. That's going to make all your abilities go on auto and the speed of the battle be ×2. That's going to help in case you're going through a little bit longer fight and you're looking at the Discord, you come back and you're just sitting there idling, not doing anything. You don't want to forget to leave it on auto. Unless you want to cast your enchantments that you'll get later on manually or use your abilities manually, you want to keep it on the computer symbol auto. And as a second small tip, up in the top right, the skip button. If you've already seen the story, if it's not your first account, you can skip a lot of those dialogue scenes just to get right to the rewards section. It helps things go a lot faster. All right, so you keep pushing your way through the story. You keep just clicking, just powering through without focusing too much time on leveling up or anything until you get to this Story 2 Phantom Master quest where you're in the Sunset Forest, because you're going to get one of the most instrumental phantoms in the game. This early on, they just give it to you, okay? So you're going to accept this quest. You're going to help the Phantom Master in trouble. Get through all that. We're going to get that reward. We're going to equip this new weapon. And we've got a shiny new phantom that we are going to use till end game. Astral Clock is going to be in your team until you stop playing SG. Okay? Let's go ahead and pop him into the formation. All right, this guy is your initiator and a powerhouse puncher too. I've got an entire guide on the clock going into the lockout team. It's called the Loco Team, Lockout with your clock out. I've got an entire video I did long before the update came out on how to solo through the entire game with a team based around clock. So go ahead and check that out. I'll put the link in the description. All right, now we've got to the point where we've got our clock. Now we're going to actually stop and do some summoning. We should have 6 golden books by this time. We're going to summon those 6 and see what we get. Hopefully some SSs come out. We'll see what we have to work with here. Okay, we got diddly squat. It's all right. Now we'll summon some silver books just for fodder so we can evo up our good ones. All right. And then your first epic book. If you've got enough people and you can go to the blacksmith, let's go to the blacksmith and just see if there's going to be enough people that are summoned. You can get help to get better chances of rare phantoms. But this early on, waiting around to get help with one epic book is going to slow you down more than that's going to be worth. Chances are you may not get those really rare phantoms anyway, but you'll probably get some SSs that could be super useful and just get your account going. So let's see if we can get some help here with this book. If not, that's okay too. Let's see if anybody's awake. All right, so it looks like we got one person there awake, so we're going to get a little bit of help with the summoning. Let's see what we get. Okay, we got a Fire Thief, a Prometheus, and an S-Class Sea Conqueror. That's pretty good pull. Not bad, not bad. We can use this. We're going to go into our formation. And we're going to put him in for Zeus. because really we don't have anybody else we want to really invest in right now. She's an S class, but we have our initiator already, and using both of them in the same team is going to be counterproductive. You're not going to really want to, not counterproductive, but it's not going to be as efficient as it could be. You don't need 2 initiators. Now we've got 3 out of our 4 SSs we want. We have Alchemist here, but Alchemist is trash. Right, now we've got some basic phantoms for our teams. What we want to do, start getting resources to be rolling in. So now that we've unlocked them, let's go to our elemental lords, right? There are all these elements. Let's just start with fire. You're only going to probably do level 1, maybe level 2 right away, but that's okay. We just need books and resources and XP to start flowing in. This is where we're going to get most of our runes, especially early in the game. But the runes you can get have changed, all right? So we need to pay attention to which ones we need to focus on early on and quickly. So you can see they've added Ripper here as another level in addition to the original Wolf Demon and King of Fiery Dragons. If we look at Ripper, you're going to get from these 4 sets, what you want to focus on is the haste set right here. That's going to give you speed. You're going to want that for your clock. He's going to help you go faster. All right, you'll probably only be able to do the first level, maybe 2 at first, but that's okay. You just want to get some of those on. Doesn't even have to be good ones. And then the Wolf Demon, obviously the old Squall set. Those stack in sets of 2. You can put on 2 sets of those if you'd like to get that 20% crit damage boost. That is confirmed. And the other set is Power. Normally we wouldn't look at Power in the end game. We never really looked at it in the old iteration of the game. But early on, since the Harvest set and the Headcracker set are not farmable, you have to craft those with materials you're going to get, including materials from the arena. Power is going to be easy. Just slap 2 crappy ones on and get your attack increased by 15%. Early game, that's going to be huge, and you can set multiple of those on your characters. So just get crappy ones of those, just farm a bunch of them up and slap them on. Big early game boost. All right, so say that you pulled those initial books you had recently and you didn't get anything really good that was going to help you out or SS quality, right? As you're farming the Abode and the Lords of Essence and you're getting gold books, there's actually a way to get some pretty decent phantoms early on if your pulls suck. All right, so we're going to go to the shop here. Go to phantoms. Now you recognize the essence. You could spend essence to get S levels and one SS. Crystal, we all remember those, but those are for a new account, going to be a while till you get those. Gold crystals are new with the update that you get a gold crystal every time you open a gold book. So if you're farming gold books, once you get to 100, you can totally purchase these phantoms right here. I recommend getting a copy of Fire Thief first if you don't have one, and then secondly, getting a copy of King Argon. Early to mid game, these guys are going to AoE smack for you, especially if you've not gotten any other good pulls. These are really going to help you get through. Now, after having done all that, you're going to keep pushing on with the story. The story is going to be your main focus for your XP. Early on, it's going to get you those levels quickly to unlock those new features, right? And it's important to unlock those features because you want to start getting into dungeons. Now, the story is going to lead you to those dungeons, but you need to get to that level to be able to open them up and get some gear, right? So once you've done that, the team instances you're going to see right here in story chapter 4. Get yourself through there, unlock those instances, and then run through there for a decent weapon and a set of gear. Why do you want to do that? Because your stats influence the stats of your phantoms, and it's early on, it's a bigger percentage, right? Because you don't have stats really at the beginning, so those early influx of stats are really going to make your team shine. So you're going to go to the character page right here, and it shows you what your main stats are, what you've got on your character base, and what comes from your gear, your equipment there. Now the extends button here, click that. That's going to show you what stats your phantoms are inheriting. So right now they're getting 20 magic attack from what you have. So as much as you pump yours up, 5% is going to them. You're really helping out your team. So you want to keep your gear up there. You don't want to pump a lot of resources into it early on because you're better served farming the Abode and Elemental Lords to get your Phantom Evos up, but you really want to make sure that you've got decent gear on. You don't want to be naked, not giving them any buffs. All right, now other activities that's important to get a jump on are Phantom Abode, right away, King's Warrants, and then your dailies once you get to 40. So they're going to open up at different levels, you can see. You really don't want to focus on Goblin Trove whatsoever. Phantasmagoria and Anabasis are going to have good rewards, but they're still upcoming. They're working on those. So basically these top 3 here, Elemental Lord, Demon Fortress, and Phantom Abode, are going to get you those things you need real early. Now, Phantom Abode drops XP and this soul essence, this soul power that you put into your phantoms to level those up. You want copious amounts of that. So Abode is going to be your go-to. Whenever you need to grind experience for yourself or your phantoms, Abode is where you're going to be going to. And even at high levels, the amounts you get from there are really, really nice. So you want to always be pushing Abode as high as you can. Whenever you have downtime, lots of vigor to burn, Abode is where you put it. All right, and the last early tip you're going to want to do is once you've done all the things we've mentioned and you get through chapter story 2, you're going to unlock the towers, which includes the demon tower, which you're probably familiar with, in addition to the new elemental towers. You're probably only going to be able to do a few levels, but it's super important that you get on those because the resources they provide are key. The gold you need to do things, the soul essence you need to do things, just make sure you're farming those levels, and then as you get to a point in the towers where you can't, go back through the other steps I mentioned, push through the story. Once you gain some progress, come back, do some more levels of those towers, and get those resources. Now, you may get to a point where you feel like you can't level up your phantoms anymore. Like they just won't go any higher, right? Either because you don't have enough soul power or because they're evo capped. What I mean by that is they have an evolution level right here, which you need to always be increasing that to increase their level cap, right? The level they can get to just increases as you increase their evo in addition to some stats. Now, long-term game, their level is going to give them more stats than the evo bonus, but those early evo bonuses, right? If you can get your phantoms to an evo 2 or 3 really early, that's going to make a huge difference. You're going to be able to just power through a lot of things. All right, some of the phantoms you're going to want to look for. You're probably not going to have those super elite tier phantoms right away unless you get really, really lucky, like the Bloody Overlords, the Puppeteers, the God of Zoes, the King Arthurs. So for the mid decent tier phantoms you want to really focus on for your teams, I'm going to show you those right now. Obviously the clock that I pointed out you're going to get from a quest, that's going to be with you to the end game. Fire Thief is a really good, falls off in damage compared to those elite tiers in the late game, but still really decent. Your Dracula Eye, everybody knows Dracula Eye. He's going to have a AoE where he's hitting 3 of the 5 enemies, but he's also going to absorb their attack bar, so it's really good for damage and control. And your Sea Warrior, if you can get his crit rate up high enough early enough, a lot of his abilities, when he crits, he's going to just keep them slowed, right? So you have a good amount of control in the team I'm using now with a pretty good amount of damage. Other ones to look out for that are good are obviously Sea Conqueror. She's an initiator that if you aren't using the clock, you can use her. Decent-ish is going to be the Demon Catcher. She's got a single target attack that's a good finisher. If you get her to go last, say with your other AoE attacks, and you got the one main thing left, she can be a good finisher. Zeus, if you get an SS copy. Destroyer Vizier, obviously. The Ambassador of Light, he's got a decent, one of his moves is pretty decent, but you're going to get more value in other phantoms. What I don't currently have yet that you should look out for is definitely a Haley. Definitely put her in there. She is available to lock down the enemy completely by absorbing the entire enemy's attack bar. It's really great. Obviously, the Bloody Overlords, the Draculas, the Puppeteers, those tier phantoms, always put those in if you've got those. But a tier list will be putting out very soon. I know my friend Higher Standard, he's working on one of those as well, so definitely look out for that. But if you need tips on what team you should use, you're not sure, hit me up in the Discord, JTOWN7. Just say, hey man, what team you think? Ask Higher Standard. We will let you know what to use. All right, so how do I know that this method is the fastest way to get ahead early in the game and that it works? Well, this is my actual Server 5 account that I'm going to be focusing on, and I've been playing it casually for far less than a day, and I'm level 84. You'll see here in the Phantom Abode, I'm almost cleared with the entire first tier of the Abode. And we'll take a look at my team here. Right, I've got Evo 3s all at 100, right? I've been casually playing for less than a day. I've already achieved this much. So if you follow the steps I've outlined, it'll show you how to get ahead. This is my 5th alt account. I have soloed the entire game out of sheer boredom during the downtime of the game. So between this and my old videos on the Loco team, it can really show you how even solo, early in the game, you can get in there and kick some ass. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. I hope you find it helpful. I hope you come back and join us on server 5 in a new account. Remember to enter that promo code JTOWN7. And as always, see you in game.